let's go ahead and get it going. M19 quick draft, let's go. 5,000 coins down the drain. Oh my god, so we open up with Apex of Power, which is basically unplayable. There's a ton of red in the pack. There's one good green card. It's a lot of red and a lot of blue, which makes me not want to pick those colors, despite the fact that I want to pick Apex of Power because I want to play with this card. God, that's so fun. So if we look at red, Electrify is the most playable card. If we look at blue, you've got Salvager of Secrets, enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. That seems pretty decent if you're playing some sort of spells deck. Departed Deckhands, one of the best 2-drops in the format. Essence Scatter's good. And Gearsmith Prodigy. So we're not going to take blue because there's so many good blue cards. What happens is if we pick one of these, the guy to the left of us is going to pick one, the guy to the left of him is going to pick one. And then when it comes back around the other way, we're not going to see any blue. White has Cavalry Drill Master. He gives +2/+0 and first strike to something when he enters the battlefield. This card seems okay. It's decent for a 2-drop. The ability to let something else swing in when it otherwise might not be able to is pretty good. Epicure of Blood's actually pretty strong, I think, if you can get a life gain deck going. And I think that's the pick here. Otherwise, it's Blanchwood Armor. I think it's one of these two, starting out. Daggerback's nice if you can find, like, some Rabid Bites and stuff to go with it. And that would be the only other green option. Lava Axe isn't an option. Double Cast could be an option, maybe. I could see, like, Double Cast plus some other removal, like Electrify, being really good in the right circumstances. But I can also see this card just being dead in your hand almost every time that you draw it. You'd rather have 2 Electrifies than a Double Cast and Electrify 90% of the time. So yeah, we're going to take Epicure of Blood here. The other option would be to, like, be greedy and take one of the cards that was in one of the colors that had a lot of stuff. But I think Epicure of Blood's the way to go here. So in this pack, we've got Knightly Valor, which is really good. We've got Lightning Mare, Green Seeker, Swiftclaw, Dwarven Priest. Dwarven Priest fits into the life gain synergy. I'm not sure if we want to force life gain, though. And we've got a card like Knightly Valor or Sky Scanner could be just as good here. I'm going to take Knightly Valor. I think this card's really good. We're kind of starting off a little bit heavy on the 5-drop slot, but that's okay. Okay, so we've got another Epicure, and we have Luminous Bonds. I'm snap taking Luminous Bonds here. I think that card's really good. Doom Descender, Mighty Leap, Gravedigger. Gravedigger's also really good. That's my snap instinct, is to take Gravedigger here. But let's keep our eyes open and look at what else is coming around. We've got a lot of green coming this way, and we've got a lot of red coming this way. I don't think it's going to be the same going the other way around, because the people to the left of us are getting past all the green and red, so they're going to be taking it. Whereas we're snapping up all the black and white cards. Doom Descender's strong if you've got some of the same synergies that Gravedigger's strong if you've got, but I think Gravedigger's more versatile. I think I'm still wanting to take Gravedigger after looking at the pack a little bit more carefully. The other options are like Infectious Horror, which we're not playing. Let's be honest, it's a 2/2 for 4. At the end of the day, it's a 2/2 for 4. Unless you put something on it that makes it unblockable, this card's just bad. If it's not unblockable, if it is unblockable, it's a 4/2 for 4. Whoop-de-friggin' do. Yeah, we're taking Gravedigger. I'm not even considering that card. Alright, what is this? One with a machine. Draw cards equal to the highest converted mana cost among artifacts you control. Cool if you can find an artifact deck. I'm not sure how possible that is in M19. Now, if you are playing Constructed, that's a cool Constructed card. There's nothing wrong with that in Constructed. But I think in Draft, it's basically unplayable. Now we have Millstone, which could actually be decent in our deck with Gravedigger if we can find some other stuff that's better than Gravedigger that we can potentially dig through our deck and buy back. Could also be used as a win condition to kill the opponent, but that's fairly unlikely. Epicure, having a second Epicure, if we can get further into the life gain thing, could be good. Infectious Horror, I already just said, it's bad. I'm not playing it. Mind Rot, one Mind Rot's not bad. Two Mind Rots is terrible. I'd rather have the Epicure. Mind Rot could come back again. This looks like our options are Axe, Swiftclaw, Doom Dissenter, Two-Headed Giant. Of those, I like Doom Dissenter the most personally. It's a 2-drop. We don't have any 2-drops. It just, it does stuff. Now here we have the option to take a Knight of the Tusk, which is just a really big blocker. And can kind of shore up the game in some of the matchups where our opponent's dropping stuff that's on the higher end that's kind of hard to deal with. So I have Two-Headed Zombie, which is just a 4/2 menace for 4, which is strictly better than the card that I've been telling you is not good, because it has some form of evasion and is a 4/2 on its own right. We could look at Submerged Boneyard to be able to splash blue, because I don't really love any of these cards. I don't hate Knight of the Tusk. I don't really want Knight's Pledge. I don't think we're a Knight's Pledge deck. That'd be maybe green-white, or green, or maybe black-white splash and green could justify Knight's Pledge, but you'd have to be into the green-white uncommons. I'm going to take Knight of the Tusk. I'm not sure if we're going to play it or not, but I'm going to take it here. I do like Daybreak Chaplain, I think. It's just a good solid 2-drop that can stop a lot of stuff from getting in. We'll probably play 1 Invoke the Divine. Dwarven Priest Wield. It's actually not terrible. It's a 2/4 for 4 that has an Enter the Battlefield effect on it. There's a 3rd Epicure Blood. If we can make the life gain stuff happen, it's going to be really nice. Absolutely take the on-color duel. Mighty Leap, Horror. Mighty Leap could maybe get played, depending on what else we find. I think we drafted real smart, considering the fact that the last several cards in the pack were all on-color for us. Alright, so our uncommons, we have Shield Mare and Plague Mare. Plague Mare is like a board clear, which is real sweet. Shield Mare is technically a life gain card and can't be blocked by red. This can't be blocked by white. I think not being able to be blocked by white is better in this format, because I think white's a better color. I also think I like the sweeper effect better than a little bit of life gain, and I think that this is the best card in the pack, but I'm going to look at everything else real carefully before we grab it. So we've got a Manalith here, we've got Thornhide Wolves, we've got Rabid Bite, which might actually be the best card in the pack, in that it is an excellent piece of removal, but we're not really looking to go into green for a 2-cost removal spell. Tormenting Voice, it's a great way to draw through your deck. Infectious Horrors, terrible. Mind Rot, we could maybe take one of, but we're not going to take it right now. Salvager of Secrets is good in a removal-based deck. Cancel, it's cancel. This is draft, it's probably not that great. Daybreak Chaplain, 1/3 Lifelinker, pretty good. Cavalry Drill Master, mixed opinions, probably overall pretty good. Plague Mare is probably what we're taking. Aether Tunneler, Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. So that is a way to give things evasion. And that's where your 2/2 starts getting slightly better in your infectious horror, is when you start giving it stuff like that. But it's still not that great because it still costs 4. If it was a 2/2 that had that effect for 3, and then you Aether Tunneled it, maybe it would be slightly more viable. Shield Mare. This is the other card that we were looking at. Can't be blocked by red creatures. When it enters the battlefield, it becomes the target of the spell an opponent controls. Gain 3 life. We do have 3 Epicures of Blood. So that is the upside to if I want to take a Shield Mare here, is if we can find maybe 1 or 2 more life gain payoffs. Shield Mare, I think, becomes better than Plague Mare. Let's do it. I'm kind of torn here. I'm going to take Shield Mare. I know I was saying I'm going to take Plague Mare the whole time, but we've actually got like fairly good statted creatures against the 1-attack minions. We've got Daybreak Chaplain in here. Doom Dissenter trades well onto that stuff. Shield Mirror, Dwarven Priest will do fine into the lower defense creatures. 2-headed Zombie is a-okay. Knight of the Tusk. Do we ever play a 4th Epicure of Blood? I'm not sure if the answer is yes. Do we rare draft an Omniscience here? I think we might, actually. I think we might be rare drafting Omniscience out of this pack. Alright, so we've got Mantle of Giant Spider, Bristling Boar, Eldritch Rejuvenator, Titanic Grove, Goblin Motivator. This whole half of the pack's completely unplayable for us. Disperse, unplayable for us. Playables are maybe Poison Tipped Archer, and then Rustwing Falcon, Epicure Blood, and Abnormal Endurance. Abnormal Endurance could be good for us in a lot of ways, but I don't think that it's so good that I'm not going to draft an Omniscience here. We're taking that and we're keeping it. Alright, this pack we've got Diamond Mare, which is a snap pick for us, I'm pretty sure. We also have Pegasus Courser. Lich's Caress is actually maybe better. Oh man, maybe that Diamond Mare wheels for us. We have to take Lich's Caress. We need the removal. That feels kind of bad. Neonate. Neonate is our win condition, honestly. When we have 3 Epicure Bloods in the deck. Neonate's just a win con. Alright, so now in this pack we've got an Abnormal Endurance I wouldn't mind picking up. Duress I don't think is very good in this format. Hired Blade's okay. It's a decent way to jump in front of something, but Abnormal Endurance is going to do the same thing for us most of the time without us having to lose the creature over it. I will take a Macabre Waltz here most likely. Inspired Charge could be good, but I'd rather have the Angel if I was going to go for that type of an effect. The Angel did on. So yeah, I'm going to grab Macabre Waltz. Another Neonate. Excellent. A third Neonate. Yeah, I'll even take a third one. There's our Mind Rot that we were talking about, maybe having one of wheeling. Probably take the Falcon over Abnormal Endurance at this point. Another dual land. That's not bad for us at all. Knight of the Tusk. Duress. We probably will not be playing Duress or that. Or the Scholar. Alright, Desecrated Tomb. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying. Regal Bloodlord. Okay, this was the other payoff card that I was talking about for life gain, was Regal Bloodlord. It's happened. We are there. Angel of the Dawn, Daybreak Chaplain, or Resembling Skeleton. All excellent for us, honestly. I almost just want to take a freaking Chaplain here, but I'm gonna take Skeleton. Skeleton can buy itself back as a blocker, and we can do fun stuff with that. Rise from the grave. Target creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. The creature is a black zombie in addition to its other types. So, how many targets do we have for that? We've got basically Knight of the Tusks, Bloodlord, Epicures. And that's it. Everything else isn't going to be very good for that. So I don't think that that's that great for us. Outside of that, there's a ton of blue in the pack that we don't really care about that much. There's Active Treason, but we don't really have any sacrifice synergy for it. There's Mind Rot, there's a Infernal Scarring, which is a enchantment that draws a card when the creature dies. We're not playing that, I don't think. I think Rise from the Grave is still the best thing in the pack, even if we don't end up playing it here. Do I want a 4th Epicure of Blood? I don't actually think the answer is yes. I think 3 of them is probably enough. We could take a Leonin Vanguard here, and even if we don't play it, we can use it for Constructed maybe at some point. If we build the life gain tokens deck or something. Take an Axe. Take another Dwarven Priest. Absolutely. We've got our deck pretty much built here. We're at 34 playables. Not everything's playable. Okay, let's look at this real quick. Let's start cutting down what we're not actually playing out of the deck. I don't think I'm going to be playing Mind Rot. I don't think I'm going to be playing Axe. I'm not going to be playing Knight's Pledge. I might run Mighty Leap, but probably not. I don't really want to play Two-Headed Zombie. Ages of Heaven, target creature gets +1/+7 until end of turn. It could make for some interesting blocking. I don't think it's necessarily what we're looking to do, though. Obviously, we don't want Knight's Pledge or Invoke, though. So I'm going to take the uncommon, even though we're probably not going to use it. Ghost Form, Hostile Minotaur, Lava Axe. Yeah, we're kind of down to the back end of the draft, and not seeing the black and white stuff, which is a little bit interesting, considering that we have gotten almost entirely black and white stuff up to this point. I'm not taking Infectious Horror, right? I'll take a Minotaur for Minotaur Tribal. Yep, I will play a 4th Neonate. You won't stop me from doing that. And I mean, I think we're just about done here. There's not a whole lot else happening on this draft, so we're just gonna fix up our deck the rest of the way. We've got to cut another 4 cards or so, which is probably gonna actually be like a Knight of the Tusk, Rise from the Grave, probably not great for us actually. Oh, and is that it? Yeah, because we've got 2 Forsaken Sanctuaries in here already. Yeah. Yeah. So we've got a black-white Drain deck. At the end of the day is what this is. And hopefully it works out. We've got, like, hopefully enough removal with Luminous Bonds in here. But that is definitely probably our weakest point. We didn't find any -3/-3, like Infectious Spores or something, I think it's called. This hand is probably bad. We're gonna mulligan. This hand's better. Despite the fact that we've still got a ton of lands. Yeah, Nightly Valor on top's great. Just having a Neonate and having something to do by doing stuff with Neonate is going to be a big advantage over the other hand where we weren't doing anything for several turns. Here we can at least make blocks and ping our opponent. Child of the Night. It's 2-1. Our opponent might be on a very similar type of deck. Yeah, all attackers. So the plan here is to stick Neonate in front of his biggest thing and then ping him, drain him. And probably do that next turn as well, unless we draw a 3-drop. So click, click, 1 blocker. Yep, Swift Strike. So he's going to get the kill on Neonate after we ping him. He's going to go up a lot of life because Swift Strike on a lifelinker. Pretty good. We get Daybreak Chaplain down. That's actually really good for us. Daybreak Chaplain is going to be real strong. We do want to find our 5th land for next turn after next. Pyromancer, doing some pinging. So he's on 3 colors, okay. He does get +1 on Vanguard. He does not attack with anything. Okay, we will get Gravedigger down here. Pull back our Neonate. Take action, absolutely. Not attacking. And we're shoring up our board much more than we had been. There we go. So let's get a Epicure down. Actually, maybe we just Nightly Valor here. No, let's play Epicure, and we can Nightly Valor next turn. Let's offer a trade with Gravedigger as well. Maybe he'll trade it off with his Pyromancer, or his Child of Night. Either way would be fine for us. I have a Tusk, yep, that's fine. So I think we're gonna just drop Neonate here. You got these abnormal endurances. I'm not gonna attack with anything. But I could like double block and then abnormal endurance, Daybreak Chaplain. And he wouldn't be able to kill either of these. If he attacks with Knight of the Tusk, which would be real nice for us if that happened. So let's see. Potential Misplaced City. Yep, nope, no Misplaced City. That's probably to be expected, basically. Luminous Bonds is nice. Luminous Bonds is real nice. Hey, double block me. Okay, cool, that's even better. Yep. Just being able to ping with Neonate every turn is going to turn into a huge advantage for us, especially after we get a second one down. Combat attacks. Swing with Daybreak. One attacker. Eventually the opponent's going to feel some amount of pressure and we're going to be able to deal with it. Alright. Sorry about that. Attacks, no attacks. No attacks. Ping him. Swamp. If we get one more land, we'll drop down the Nightly Valor. I want to be able to hold up these with normal endurances, though. Alright, so we're slowly closing this game out. Our strategy that we chose may have been one of the slower ways to actually close out the game, but I don't think that we chose incorrectly. I think that it just happened to be what we ended up with by drafting correctly. And I think it's going to win us the game. So I'm not angry about it by any stretch. It is taking forever, though. Alright, tapped land. Cool. That means next turn we can drop down Nightly Valor on Daybreak Chaplain and start swinging in for more damage. Maybe I should be attacking with Epicure, too. I haven't been doing that. I'm not really sure why I haven't been doing that, honestly. Kind of been trying to, like, hold it back as a blocker or something. I'm sure I had a reason at one point, and then that reason stopped mattering. I'm not sure what our opponent has that they're waiting on, though. Maybe they've got an Apex of Power or something that they're planning on trying to swing the game with. Or an Omniscience that they drafted that they're actually running. Opponent is at 8. We will put Nightly Valor on Daybreak Chaplain. Combat, attacks, attack with these two, and if he doesn't block with anything, we will abnormal endurance and kill him. And actually, he will die before that, technically. Or would die without that. He wouldn't die before it. He would die at the same time. Instead, we're just going to ping because he did block. Poor opponent, man. Alright, do another 2, put him to 4. And that should do it. Planes, combat, attack with everything. The scoop. On to game 2. Alright, so this hand, this is a good start. We've got Neonate, we've got Epicure, we've got a Gravedigger. Invoke could do something for us. It doesn't have to. It's fine if it doesn't, honestly. But it'd be nice if it does, at the end of the day. Got a Swamp coming down. I should probably drop the Neonate before we forget about it. If you have the option, always leave this up until the opponent's end step in case they either have some form of removal or if they have a haste creature so that you can make blocks appropriately and stuff. It's just the smart way to play it. And I'm just going to be passing again. Nothing to do. And we're not going to use the Gravedigger before one of our things dies either, so we'll probably be doing something similar next turn where we're just going land, go, land, go, land, go. We could invoke the Divine Something if he plays something worth doing that on, but here comes a Dragon Egg. It's a blue-red deck with some dragons in it. And we might as well do this. He doesn't have anything else that he's doing this turn. He's used all of his mana. So, we do have a Dwarven Priest. We can wait for value, I think, on Dwarven Priest as well. I don't know why this has popped up like that. There we go. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's okay. Rip. It did technically play around removal because he was tapped out. So, it wasn't wrong. It just wasn't right either. Resembling Skeleton we can go ahead and play out. There's no reason not to play that. But we're pretty much holding everything else until we get Epicure down. Opponent's not waiting for lands. They have their lands. Resolve. Enigma Drake comes down as a 0/4 because he has not spent any spells. And it looks like he doesn't have anything else to do this turn, so ping him. 16. Neonate's getting in decent work. Continue waiting. There is no point to rush this out. Next turn we might play Dwarven Priest just to keep our card count down a little bit. But we're just hanging out, pinging him down. All he plays is Enigma Drakes and Dragon Eggs without any spells in the graveyard. Blue-red's definitely, like, some of the best colors for spells in the M19 format, but, like, I can't see myself in a draft where I had more than, like, 6 or 8 spells and I was actually happy about it, which makes Enigma Drake kind of questionable. I mean, if I had... Maybe I was splashing black too, and I was getting like the -3/-3 spell, and I got like 2 or 3 of those. And then like a couple electrifies, a couple shocks, a couple bolts, some essence scatters. I could see you having more, but like, it's so hard. I just don't see a whole lot of removal in these packs. Even though a lot of it's at common. I see a decent amount of essence scatters and cancels, but those aren't great in draft. Opponent's still on nothing. We do have a Luminous Bonds that we could play at some point. I am going to go ahead and play down Dwarven Priest this turn, I think. It's not that great, but it is something. Alright, there's an Essence Scatter coming down. That's actually a better reason that I should have maybe not done that. The fact that opponent could have an Essence Scatter. I hadn't really thought about it, even though I was talking about it. I was sitting here talking about, oh, Essence Scatter is probably the thing that I've seen most in these packs, as far as removal is concerned, that and like Electrify maybe. And then he Essence Scatters me. So, we deserved that. Well deserved. Disperse on Reassembling Skeleton. Get him for 2. Yep. Still looking for that 5th land. There it is. Alright. So we'll get the plains down and we will play out our Epicure Blood this turn. Hopefully it doesn't get electrified. But it might. If it does, we've still got like Lich's Caress and Luminous Bonds. We've got plenty of stuff to deal with this Enigma Drake. Dwindle. I don't care that you dwindled it. That's fine. This doesn't take away its abilities. It just it's a little annoying. Luminous Bonds on your Enigma Drake, on the other hand, kind of shuts it down. So we'll do that. Luminous Bonds, 1, 2, 3. We have 2 mana left up, which means that we can ping with Neonate, or we could play down a 1/1 or a 0/3. We're going to choose to ping with Neonate and get 2 damage in. And we will choose to wait to do that. We still have Lich's Caress for any other big creatures that he drops. I don't know if Havoc Devils is something that I actually want to be targeting or not. With my removal. Oh, my hard removal anyways. We could Grave Digger back our Dwarf if we wanted. We could also invoke the Divine on the Dwindle, which is an okay play. It's not great, but it's not bad either. I'm gonna Grave Digger, I think. Pull back the Dwarf. Essence Scatter, okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna ping with Neonate. So we've got 2 Essence Scatters out of the way. That's probably all of them that we see. He might have a 3rd or 4th one, but it's not that big of a deal if he does. We'll happily take 4. Snapping Drake, 3/2 flyer. Now, considerations to invoke the Divine, which does gain us life. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. He might stop swinging with Havoc Devils. He probably won't because, I mean, honestly, this is our win condition. He probably has figured that out at this point. That we're slowly killing him with Epicure. That is loud rumblings happening outside. Alright. Neonate's down. I don't think we're attacking with anything. Actually, we could attack with Epicure, but then he just puts the egg in front of it. We don't want to give him the baby dragon off the dragon egg. We want him to sit there and only be able to swing in for 7 at most per turn. Because we're going to heal up for at least part of that. Okay, he's tapping my stuff down, and it's not going to untap, so we're going to go ahead and get our action off our Neonate. And next turn, we're going to be using our Lich's Caress with very little question on that. Shield Mirror is not terrible either, but Legis Caress is happening. This is just the play. We're gonna get rid of that Havoc Devils. It's gonna heal us up, it's gonna ping him to 7. We're at 6 lands, so we can make a 2-mana play and still do both of our pings, meaning our best play is probably gonna be just dropping Reassembling Skeleton. But actually, if we draw planes, our best play very suddenly becomes Shield Mirror. Which surprisingly can actually attack. And has to be blocked by the Thopter and the Aviation Pioneer, which isn't that good for us because it only trades with Aviation Pioneer. But if we use Endurance, it gets better, right? The point is, he can't block it with the egg. Goodbye, opponent. So we're up 2 wins. No losses. I'm just pinging him out. Update on our score on our thing there, and keep it going. Add the score into the title so everybody can know that we are slaying. And it sounds like after we finish this one, we're going to be playing some cornhole in the backyard. Always a good time. Little beanbag tossing game with a wooden board for anybody that doesn't know what that is. Neonate, Luminous Spawns. We've only got 2 lands. I don't know if we can actually keep 2 landers with this deck. I'm going to choose to mulligan and look for a 3-land hand. This is better. We could keep this. Epicure on top, yep. And we are on the draw, so maybe I could have kept it. It would have been fine. I'm going to choose to go Swamp. We don't have a turn 3 play right now. So Forsaken Sanctuary on turn 3 should be fine for us. We've got a 1 play, we've got a 2 play, we've got a 4 play. So Sanctuary on 3. Just slot in that top land wherever it's going to fit best into the curve. A lot of the time that's going to be playing it on turn 1 since you're not going to have a 1-drop. But since we're so Neonate heavy, which is actually pretty nice for us. Sling in with a Doom Dissenter. 1 attack. Damage. And turn. And we could again hold the Dwarven Priest until after Epicure. If we draw another land right away, we will probably do that. We might anyways. Opponent has no play, so we will ping with Neonate. Land. Ooh, another Neonate. Another one. Combat attacks. No attackers. Explosive Apparatus. Not that good against us, actually. It's actually just, like, kind of slow against us most of the time. It doesn't kill Neonate, it doesn't kill Epicure. It kills, like, Doom Dissenter, I guess. And since we have 4 mana right now, pinging with the Neonates is taking priority over making a 2/4, because the 2/4 gets more value later. Um, and I just get to I get to keep a full hand, and we get to have plenty of responses. Unate's pinging is just as good as the 2-4 in a lot of ways. It's not in some other ways, you know, but it's fine. Looks like our opponent's not doing anything, so we will ping him. Down to 14. Our opponent's on 8 lands in hand, ending their turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's gonna have to discard one. He discards a Macabre Waltz. Now that we have Gravedigger, there's some consideration to playing out more stuff on the board, but I don't think we're going to. I think we're just going to keep doing what we're doing until we find that land. Or until we fill up our hand. That's the other option, is we fill up our hand and we play Dwarven Priest, but the opponent's stuck on 3 lands, we're stuck on 4. He's stuck on 3 lands with nothing other than Explosive Apparatus on board, though. And he doesn't really want to blow up our Doom Dissenter and give us a big creature off of it. We might be about to be at a 3-0 rather quickly, because our opponent is getting mana screwed really hard. We're getting mana screwed too, but not as hard as he is. We can still technically do stuff, which almost makes it no longer mana screw. Could we do better stuff if we had land? Yeah, we could. I'll play Resembling Skeleton. We'll play that out. So Doom Dissenter. Hired Blade, sure. Abnormal Endurance is so good here. This is a blowout against what he has, because we get a 2-2 out of it, and then we get our 1-1 body back from Abnormal Endurance. Skeleton Archer shoots down either a skeleton that comes back or a 1-1 that gives us a 2-2. Fine by me. Yep. Here's land. And we'll play Epicure. And we might just want to pass here. Looks like we're going to get to start playing Magic, or our opponent's going to get to start playing Magic. We're going to get to start really going off. Let's just Caress on Epicure. Yep. It's a good card. We'll Gravedigger back the Epicure. And we will pass again. And I'm getting a phone call, so give me just 1 second. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let it ring through. They can talk to me after I finish streaming. They can hold up for another hour or so. Let's ping. Land. Replay Epicure. No attackers. These guys are really all just holding back his blockers, basically, for his stuff so that he can't swing in for now. We're going to win with Neonates, Dwarven Priests, and Epicure. That is our win con. We're going to play to our win con. Because there's not really any reason not to. Regal Bloodlord. He's going to get to start making some bats if he can figure out how to gain life. Which might take a little bit for him. We could invoke right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. That is actually probably our best play. We're going to get rid of his explosive apparatus. And we'll start pinging him down. It's really going to take our opponent quite a bit in order to come back from this. Take Vengeance. Yep. We're going to Macabre Waltz that back in a minute. Strangling Spores on the other one. Okay, yeah, we'll Macabre Waltz both of them back in that case. And I think we're going to just discard Dwarven Priest here. Pull back both the Neonates. Discard one Priesty Boy. Play down some Neonates. And do we swing with everything here? If we do, we get through for like 6 damage. And then we finish him off with pings next turn. I guess we only get through for 5, right? That's still... We kill his Epicure. Connect for 5. We've got the other Epicure in hand. Okay, so he's gonna get to make some zombies, I guess. Nope. Scoop. 3-0. These games aren't taking super long, about 15 minutes apiece or something like that. It's good. Up to 3 wins. Alright. You go first. 3 lands, Neonate, Abnormal Endurance, Luminous Bombs, Gravedigger. Gravedigger. Monday, 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 Monster Truck Rally. Opponent is considering the mulligan. Much consideration. Such mulligan. Mulligan to 6. Mulligan to 5. Scry at the bottom. Oh, off to a good start. Let's get Neonate down. And if it seems like we're finding this card every game, it's because we have 4 of them. You know, it's really likely that we're going to start with it in our hand, even. You start with either 7 or 8 cards, so 7.5. There's 4 of them. If it was even distribution, you should see 1 every 10 cards. It's not always. So sometimes you'll see more, sometimes you'll see less. discard a card, draw a card, or sack to deal damage. So he can potentially take out our Epicure with that later. Which is pretty good for him. Neonate's nice. We could also like abnormal endurance to kill it if it attacks, which would be really nice since it is going to be something that's going to deal with one of our bombs later. He might be using it to loot though. He did discard to a really low card count, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he was looting. Let's see what he does at combat. No attacks. So yeah, we'll ping. Dim to Center's a nice draw. I don't mind just having the 1/1 down. This does mean that we can't ping him this turn, but I think it's worth it. It's a better target for abnormal endurance anyways. We get to make some tokens and stuff off of it. So what's the setup that's slightly better for future turns? Knight of the Tusk. This card, I'm not sure if this card actually fits into our deck at all. I think this is the only card that I've seen in our deck that I'm like, you know, I don't know if we care about this at all. And maybe we do because of stuff like Bristling Boar, actually. So maybe it's a fine choice, but no attacks. In turn, we're gonna look at potentially blocking her and then using abnormal endurance to kill his Bristling Boar. And then pinging. I'm doubtful that he's going to sack Pyromancer to kill a Neonate, right? At the end of the day, that would be pretty bad. Alright, cool. So we will go to blocks. Block here. One blocker. Opponent's going to scratch their chin. We're going to have normal endurance. Opponent's going to concede. They might sack their Pyromancer here to save their boar. That's actually an option that they have. I think we still get to where it's blocked and we get our guy back though, so it kind of ends up being a little bit of a waste. It's just one creature or the other. No, yeah, actually he can do that in response, that's right. If he doesn't respond before the abnormal endurance trigger, the abnormal endurance gets cancelled. We just get the 2/2. That's fine. We'll Gravedigger it back in a minute. Don't forget to ping. Drop the Gravedigger. Get back one doomed boy. Yeah, we'll get him with the 2/2. He obviously won't want to trade this. This card's just so much better than that. So I'm holding Luminous Bonds for something bigger of his because he's on green. Red, he's going to have a lot of potential big stuff that could kill us in the late game. There should be some dragons. There should maybe be a Dreadmaw or something like that. Bristling Boar is just not that scary at the end of the day. I just Instigator. The land. That puts us on 5 lands. So we will play Doom to Center here. And say go. We could also Luminous Bonds and start attacking. But that ends up getting really scary for us if he drops a big trampler, right? That's the only reason that I'm really wanting the bonds is for a trampler, I guess. Not even just a big body. It has to have trample for it to be that scary. What does he have, a rabbit bite or something that he's holding on to? It's got to be something like that. Alright, what are you waiting until end step to do? To loot. Okay. Looting away a Catalyst Elemental. So he's getting to start getting some value out of this Pyromancer. I think that was his first loot all game, though. Yep. And he had to electrify Doom Dissenter, which feels super bad. The spell costs twice as much as Doom Dissenter does, plus I get the token out of it. He canceled our Abnormal Endurance, though, so I guess that kind of makes up for it, right? We'll probably hold on to a Resembling Skeleton for a little bit because we can use it with like Macabre Waltz or something like that if we draw it. There's no real reason to rush to play it out. Opponent's probably not going to be attacking with anything. If they do, it's just going to be the Bristling Boar. Bogart Brute, sure. And no passing. So, Penguin Neonate. Forsaken Sanctuary comes in tapped. Alright, I think we've held on to this bonds for long enough. It's going to go ahead and come down. We've got Knight of the Tusk that can come down next turn. We'll go ahead and use this here, and we'll start beating in with some 2/2s. Look to make some good trades. Clear up his board a little bit. He might choose not to block. I don't know if he'll probably choose not to block, but he might choose not to block. I might choose not to block here. Okay, he's double blocking one of them. Okay, kill the goblin tokens. Easy. And if we hadn't tapped wrong, I would have probably played Resembling Skeleton there in order to double block his Menace Boy, but we're at 24 life. It doesn't really matter that he's going to get in with it. He's going to loot again, discarding a Highland game. Next turn we'll be able to play Knight of the Tusk, which is going to be hard for him to deal with. This is one of the few situations where Knight of the Tusk starts really looking good. Four, 5. Uh-oh. Dreadmaw coming down? Clear Dominance. Alright, so we have to tap now before combat so that we don't have to block with both of our Neonates. We want to keep at least one of them up. Because we have to double block. Because of Declare Dominance, it's going to force us to. All creatures able to block this turn must do so. We're going to get another 2/2 token out of this. We are going to lose our 0/3 and our Doom Dissenter. But at least we got zombies. And that's a lot better for us than him playing a big creature that could be bigger than what we could actually deal with here. So we're not angry about that at all. Drop Knight of the Tusk. And we'll keep beating him with our 2/2s as well. Maybe just one. No, we can do both. No, let's just do one. I want to leave one of these back to block with. So we have to double block Bogart Brute in order to block it and kill it. Because it has Menace. Discarding Electrify, really? He's just throwing away, like, good cards. Electrify is really the only thing that he's thrown away that's been, like, really good, but if he were using that to, like, chuck lands instead, it'd be better. Even if he was probably even if he was doing it on his turn. Darktongue Dragon's good. He can't pay the extra cost, though, so it's just a 3/3 flyer. Certainly not impossible for us to deal with. And if we trade our Knight of the Tusk on it, it's not that bad for us. So he's going to triple block here, most likely. Yep, and we will absolutely kill the dragon. Kill the dragon dead. It looks like kind of a silly play, but I think it's actually the right play for us. Drop Stumbling Skeleton. And we've got him on the 9-turn clock. Oh man. These are some longer games. Especially when they like actually kill my neonates and stuff and I actually have to fight for board. It starts turning into way longer than I would like. For 4 mana. Rock's Oracle. Fine. Rock's Oracle is not very good against our board. It just trades with a 2/2 here. And he's tapped out, so we're gonna go ahead and ping with Neonate as soon as the next time we get priority. After combat, probably, is better. Mountain. Combat, attacks. Blocks, yep. Ping. Down to 8. Macabre Waltz. Alright, so we're going to return 2 creatures. Which is going to be a Neonate and Knight of the Tusk. And then we're actually going to discard our Neonate, I think, in order to keep the Knight of the Tusk. Because we are kind of fighting for board at this rate. And we'll attack with our 2/2s. Swing. And swing. 2 attacks. Potentially just another month or so from replacing my computer, which is going to make streaming and recording a whole lot more enjoyable for me, because I'm not going to have to worry about the lag that happens so much of the time when I'm playing games. It slows this stuff down. But Magic's kind of a slow-paced game in the first place, which is kind of why this is one of the games that I am playing. It's because the lag doesn't matter that much. It does affect the visuals a little bit, so my videos are going to get prettier, which is going to be nice. But at the end of the day, Magic's Magic. He could get in with Bogart Brute here if he wanted to. We're fine with that. The reason that we didn't play Knight of the Tusk last turn was so that I could ping with the innate. It's, maybe, like, slightly questionable of a play, but meh. Meh. Opponent is on Highland Game, not Rapid Bite. Ooh, Abnormal Endurance is nice. We're not going to attack here. If I attack with the 2-2, he's going to block with the Highland Game. I don't want to trade Abnormal Endurance for Highland Game, especially since it doesn't work on the token. I could potentially use it on Reassembling Skeleton, but it's also not really something that I care about getting back with that. Fiery Finish. Pretty sure this works. Comes back tapped, but that doesn't really matter. We're at 24 life. Yeah. And opponent should basically be passing here. They could get in if they wanted to, but that doesn't really matter. They're choosing not to. They want to hold back their blockers. Epicure is awesome. We're going to drop Epicure. And we're going to start pinging him while he's tapped out. Go ahead and make sure that damage happens. So he has to block if we attack with Knight of the Tusk. He could trade us again if we did that. He'd have to at least double block it. If we attack with everything, then he has to trade his whole board except for one card, I think. And then he drops to at least 2, which means that he would die to pings next turn. Oh, but he goes back up off Highland Game to 4. He's going to double block there and then block there. Yep, take 1. You get to kill... Let's kill the Rocks Oracle. It doesn't really matter which one we kill that much. Rocks represents more damage if we don't block, but Bogart's harder to block. Rocks does trade on Epicure though. Okay, so he does have an Electrify. It slows us down again. Whatever. We should be fine. We've got another 2 Epicures, an Eonate, and a Regal Blood Lord. All of which are perfectly good ways of just closing this out the rest of the way. And that's Bloodlord doing his thing. We now represent enough attack in the air to kill him. Good game. Good game. And scoop. 4-0. 4-0. Black-white seems really good in this draft format. I think of the few M19 decks that I've drafted, this is my favorite one. I drafted some during the stress test event that they had, but I didn't get to finish any of those drafts, which is why none of them ended up on YouTube. So this is going to be our first uploaded draft video. First uploaded VOD. Because it's going to be our first actual completed draft of M19. It feels a little bad, but that's okay. Actually, that might not be true. We might have had one that we did right as the set came out that just went like really badly or something. I don't remember. I think this is actually our first completed draft of M19 though. Assuming that it actually does get completed. We have to stop partway through. We have to stop partway through, but I think that we're going to finish this. Alright, Neonate, Daybreak Chaplain, Nightly Valor, Macabre Waltz. Yep. Macabre Waltz at the starting hand. I'd much rather draw it later on, but it's fine. We'll drop Neonate here. We'll play Forsaken Sanctuary next turn, and we'll drop Daybreak Chaplain a turn late, I think. Unless we draw a Plains. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we can get a second Neonate down. Yeah, let me attack with these real quick. Kappa. And let's see if our opponent goes attacking. We might decide not to block. If he plays Dragon Egg and he attacks, we'll block, though, because he doesn't have anything else that he could be playing. He may as well just pass. Yep. We would happily block with Chaplain, though. Opponent's going to be real scared of us dropping an Epicure or something like that at this point, because we are on the board with the life gain. Either Epicure or 2/4 flyer making bats. Whatever its name is that I don't remember right now. We'll block the token. He's going to probably Sure Strike. If he does, that's fine. I'd rather get it out of the way now than him have it later. Strengthening Spores. Yeah, please. Use your 4-cost removal on my 2-cost guy. That's perfectly fine by me. Alright, let's do this. Play Doom to Center. And take the slightly slower play again. We're building up towards this Nightly Valor. Skymarch Bloodletter. It's a good life gain card. So he's on black-red, splashing green, assumedly. That's my assumption, based on what has been played so far. So, we could Nightly Valor right now on the Doom to Center. We could also just, like, attack with Doom to Center, let it die, buy it back with Macabre Waltz. I don't want to Lich's Caress the 2/2 flyer. That seems really bad. Let's Nightly Valor. I think this is the best play. Potentially get a 2-for-1 or something like that. Or trade off on the Dragon Egg and get the free body at the very least. We've got Lich's Caress to deal with the potential Dragon Whelp that comes down. Yep, he's going to do that. We could also save Lich's Caress for something else, but we don't necessarily have to. Okay, so maybe they're splashing red and not splashing green. Or maybe it's just a 3-color deck, and they're happy with the number of dual lands that they picked up. That's also entirely possible. Let's see if he pumps it. Is there any pumpage happening? Abnormal Endurance. Why would you Abnormal Endurance instead of just pumping the Whelp? Okay. Seems good. Our opponent's on that bad decision-making plan. Blood Divination, sacking a Goblin, assumedly, to draw 3 cards. Oh no, he's gonna sack the guy. That's why you did that. Okay. That makes more sense. Shieldmare's pretty good. Can't be blocked by red creatures, which means Skymarch Bloodletter is the only thing that he has that can block it. It's gonna gain us some life. We're gonna go to combat, attack with Doom to Center, and the 2/2. We would love to find something like a Epicure of Blood at this point. We're getting to the point to where it would be very useful to have. But we could probably win without it still. Brawl Bash Ogre. Ooh. Whenever it attacks, you sacrifice a creature. Okay, that's how that works. We'll go ahead and ping him. Ping him with the innate. And Pyromancer. Yep. So I think we're going to target down the Brawl Bash with the Witch's Caress. Which is sorcery speed, not instant speed, so we're going to have to do that on our turn. Dropping the 9. 9. That's low. That's a low number. So let's get rid of the Brawl Bash before we have a chance to die to it. By him stealing one of our creatures, hitting us in the face with it, and then sacking it. And do I need to just hold back blockers here? I'm just gonna hold back. Well, he only has 3 things that can attack. So I can attack with 2 of these for free, basically. And the third one only costs us 1 hit point. If he starts blocking, it gets better. Nice. So we could drop pretty low here. He can pump that by another 3. Ooh. Vampire Sovereign. That would have been a cool card to see for us. More payoffs in the black/black-white life gain deck. Yep, we've got Doom Descender there. You don't want to attack with that. But he's got a lot of flyers that we can't deal with right now. That's really bad. We're probably going to lose this one. Normal Endurance doesn't really do anything for us. Do I have anything in the graveyard that I can buy back that helps? Chaplain. I mean, if he attacks wrong, then we still die, I think. If I can get my Shield Mare killed. And then Abnormal Endurance. Let's see if our opponent tries to block it. If he tries to block it, we aren't dead yet. Nope. Okay. I think we're just dead. I don't see how we're not dead. Yep. Good game. First loss. 4-1. So we've already hit 4 wins. So we break even at 4 or 5. 4 we get 450 gems. 5 we get 650. In Quick Draft, I think you might actually have to hit 5 or 6 to break even. Is it 750 to buy in Quick Draft, I think? I know in competitive draft, the number that you have to hit is lower, but you also have less losses that you can have, so. Grosmog. Yep. Yep. Innate, Epicure, Endurance, Gravedigger. We got our stuff, we got ways to save our stuff if it's gonna die. Seems good. Opponent doesn't seem to have anything to play this turn. Ping him. We do need our 4th and 5th land still. Plains, we'll play Skeleton out. Just for some recurring value. Opponent is on green-black. Gear Report Guide. This card has not been impressive. Oof. That's empty. So yeah, we're not going to be attacking here. And we're not really looking to hold up Abnormal Endurance with Resembling Skeleton. We might chump block. And then just buy it back. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Block. One blocker. Damage. Opponent has a Bristling Boar. Buy back our Skeleton. And we will ping. Another Neonate. May as well play it out. We might use Abnormal Endurance here to kill Bristling Boar. I think that that's a better play than not killing Bristling Boar. He could use the Gear Report Guide ability to slip it through. Talon's the Wildwood. Alright. Oh, we're not going to be able to kill it with Abnormal Endurance anymore. So we'll just chump. We could kill the Gear Report Guide. I think actually killing the Gear Report Guide is going to matter here. So I'm going to do it. Despite the fact that it doesn't feel that good. We lose out on some of the real value of the Abnormal Endurance. But we do get the kill on Gear Report Guide, so it's one less thing for us to deal with. And hopefully we find land here. He's turned that Bristling Boar into a much better target for Lich's Caress than it previously was. We also just wouldn't mind getting down Epicure, of course. Shield Mirror's not bad, but we also can't play it right now. Because we don't have double white sources. Mana starving. Feels bad, man. I'd rather ping him twice than buy back Resembling Skeleton. So we probably just won't block at all here. Just take the damage. So I'd rather have the Skeleton still on the board, I think. See if our opponent has a play. Izareth, the Awakener. So this is, whenever Izareth, the Awakener attacks, you may pay X. When you do, return target creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield with a corpse counter on it. If that creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. That card's pretty scary. It's when he attacks, right? Yes, that is quite scary. Okay. Let's get our pings in. Dwarven Priest. Okay, so we could potentially double block Izareth. Which feels like a pretty awful trade, but it's honestly That's one of his bombs, so I'm not terribly upset by it. He gets to buy back Gear, poor guy, if he does that, I guess. He also could screw up and not kill the Resembling Skeleton during blocks. I've seen people do that a few times where they only end up blocking the larger creature and don't think about the fact that they have Death Touch. Declare Dominance comes down. Ooh. Shit. That's real bad. So can I do this? Nope. Okay. Well, we probably just lost. I don't know why it doesn't just declare blockers for me here, if there isn't anything that I can actually do about it. So he's gonna kill everything? That doesn't make any sense. How did he kill everything? Can he spread the damage counters like that? That's weird. I didn't think that you could do that. Alright. Limited spawns on Zreth. And we have to top deck land at this point. If we don't top deck land next turn, we're gonna lose. We're gonna be too far behind. It's not quite just over yet. But it's getting real close. Colossal Dreadmaw. Okay, it might be just over now. That's also not land. We have to Gravedigger back. Probably the Dwarf. Yeah, are we just dead to trample? We are. Oh, man. Yep. Holy. Green's real good. And Izareth's real good. Declare Dominance, man. This card is busted at uncommon. Especially against go wide type strategies like we're doing. So if you're not playing green X, basically. If you're playing green, it gets a little bit better. Also the fact that he got to put it on a Death Toucher destroyed our board. Alright. Well, I mean, if we finish this at 4-3, I'm not terribly upset, but we'll see if we can get that last win in. Or more than one, potentially, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to end at 5 wins either. Let's keep it going. 7 wins, the dream. 7-2, baby. Let's go. I've got good stuff, but I don't have enough lands to cast it. I have the lands to cast a thing. I think I have to keep this, and I think I have to hope for land on top. Daybreak Chaplains ended up being really good for us. Just the 1/3 lifelink is a 2-drop. It's a good body. Oof, Swift Claw. It's not land. I mean, it's good, but it's not land. Maybe this deck should just be running 18 lands at the end of the day. Pegasus Courser. He probably doesn't attack this turn so that he can use Pegasus Courser next turn to sneak in. Yep. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me with this shit? Right, we might as well attack with Chaplain. He's gonna block with the Courser, but we get to gain a life. If we don't attack, we don't get to gain a life. Alright. Well, taking 4. Yep. Yep. Yeah, you would have the 3 attack, 2 health minion. It's gonna just crush our chaplain and keep us from doing anything this turn. Attack with everything, get Swiftclaw flying. I can't block. May as well ping. Fuck, dude. His curve's so good, and ours is so fucking bad. I am actually, like, mildly upset right now. This is not cool. Welcome to Magic, though. I mean, this is just how some games go. You know, you go 3 wins, your deck looks really great, and then all of a sudden you're basically unable to do anything because you fucking get mana screwed, or you flood out, or you just go up against a strategy that's beating yours. Why would he not attack with Swiftclaw? Like, I'm not doing anything to your Havoc Devils, even if I want to. I'm not sure if I understand that. Alright, Spark Tongue coming down. More flyers. Don't you fucking good game me, you piece of shit. I'm stuck on 3 lands. Alright. Oh, man. Wow. Wow. Sorry for the outburst. That was actually really rude. Oh, I'm salty. I'm a little salty. There's some salt in the air. Can you feel the salt?